Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. This is Mina, and this is your September 2020 horoscope prediction video. In this video, we're going to cover your month's theme, messages from divine, hidden gems you may not realize you have to use to your advantage this month, actions you should take, lessons you're learning, love and romance, career and finance. And then at the end, we're going to roll these astro dice here to get some additional information into the reading. If you are cross-watching for someone you love, I'm going to go ahead and leave a timestamp in the description box with the love and romance section, so you can skip right there and get to exactly where you need. Please be sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising sign videos, because if you do, you're going to get the most personalized reading you can get in this generalized reading setting. And if you'd like a more specific personalized reading, I do offer them on my website at www.minanixtarot.com. If you are unsure of what your sun, moon, and rising sign are, I'm going to put a link to a natal chart creator in the description box so you can go there and figure out what those signs are. For those of you who do not like watching the shuffling process and just want to jump straight to the reading, I am going to go ahead and put a timestamp in the description box that links you straight to the reading so you can skip over the shuffling process. But for the rest of us, let's begin. Okay, Capricorn, the theme of your month is the Ten of Wands. You are just so overwhelmed right now, Capricorn, and you may have been taking on a bit too much lately, bitten off a bit more than you can chew. Something that seemed like it would actually be really beneficial or really good for you is just proving to be way more work than you had expected it to be originally. So the theme for you this month is dealing with this burnout and trying to figure out what things are top on the priority list and what things you are going to focus on, and maybe cutting a thing or two out of your life that you don't really need anymore, that's really not helping you on your path. It feels like you've kind of lost sight of your overarching bigger purpose, and there may be some things that just kind of need to go in order to get you back to that place. So just like a little simple change in direction, and then the universe will kind of show you what you need to do to get back on track. Messages from the divine, the Nine of Swords reversed, and the Seven of Wands. So it's clear that you've been feeling not like yourself lately, Capricorn. Maybe you've been underachieving. Maybe you have been really stuck in sort of a bad place for a long time. But these two cards together tell me that there's going to be a situation coming up, and if you hold your own and you stick up for yourself and you stand your ground, then you are really going to be able to change these feelings around. It's going to boost your motivation in a big way, and it's going to allow you to release some of this negativity that's been building up on you. It seems like you've got a lot of negative energy surrounding you, and so there's something about sort of standing up for yourself and really putting yourself first that's going to allow this guilt and shame and burdens that you have built up to really kind of be released and completely let go of. For some of you, it's going to allow you to stop telling yourself self-sabotaging stories. So some of you are holding yourself down by telling yourself all these things about not being confident enough, or not being good enough, or not being capable enough, or not achieving enough. And that is weighing you down so much. And then I feel like it's going to attract somebody into your life this month who's going to say those same things to you. And you're going to kind of stand up for yourself and be like, actually, I am doing the best that I can. And that is almost like you telling that inner voice to go ahead and get lost. And so I think it's going to be really therapeutic for you. I think it's going to play out in that kind of a way. And you're really going to start standing up and realizing how much strength and how much ability you truly have, Capricorn. So what do you have working towards your advantage here? Go with the flow. This card represents the sacral chakra. So we've got a lot of creativity and good vibes and sensuality and focusing back on your emotions, your relationships. All these things are going to be very, very strong for you. And I love that this says go with the flow, because honestly, I feel like you've been just trying to look for the best possible opportunity, Capricorn. And so you're just taking any opportunity that comes your way instead of really listening and turning inward and listening to what that inner compass says. Asking yourself, is this a part of my flow? Is this getting me closer to my overall life path? And if it's not, and if it doesn't just easily flow into your life the way that it should, then it might just not be the path for you. Take a day where you just don't make any plans and you allow yourself to do whatever you want to do. Allow yourself to just be guided by your impulses for a day. I feel like that's going to be very telling on what things are missing in your life, what's at an imbalance. I feel like whatever you're craving to do is going to be that thing that you're like, oh man, I should be doing that more often. So it might be calling a friend. It might be going out into the world and eating some really good comforting food. It might be spending some time talking about your emotions and releasing your emotions. Whatever it is, you're really going to find that you need that thing more in your life, and that's kind of out of balance for you. Definitely spend some time creating something. Whenever we're dealing with the sacral chakra here, it's talking about getting really creative, creating with your hands, creating with your brain, creating with your emotions. You want to really kind of let yourself free and create something that feels very true to your heart this month. I know that seems really, really lofty, but it can be just something, some kind of a hobby that you enjoy doing. It doesn't have to be like some far out, like meditate and find your truest sculpture to paint. It's nothing like that. It's more just like do a hobby that really makes you, lets down your guard and allows you to be creative. And it's something that you specifically can control. And then take some time to just like dance and let your body go with the flow. There's something so beautiful about just letting your body be free to move and dance like nobody's watching. And once you kind of get your body moving and going with the flow, it might be a little bit easier for your mind to do that as well. What action should you take? The hyena. Stop using jokes and sarcasm to cover up some true pain that's going on or some resentment that you're holding on to. Basically, whenever we see the hyena, he's got a really good sense of humor, but that sense of humor is sort of masking some bigger, deeper emotional issues here. Now, this could be, for some of you, there's two situations happening. For some of you, this is a relationship that you have some serious resentments or things that you're not fully saying in the relationship, and instead you're just being like lighthearted and joking around, and you may make some sometimes very pointed comments that come in the form of jokes, but it's really you truly expressing yourself. The other person isn't really getting that. They're just thinking you're joking around with them, so you're going to have to be very specific and say, hey, when you do that or when you do this, it really hurts me. And you're going to want to tell them that right off the bat instead of making a joke and just kind of hoping they get the hint. For others of you, this is talking about some self-disappointment, something that didn't come true for you. And instead of really admitting that it was a loss for you, you're just kind of joking about it and kind of being self-deprecating about it and being like, what are you going to do? You know, when you're crazy like me, things, or when you're too much of a control freak like me, nobody wants to work with you, or whatever it is that you're telling yourself. You're using this like humor, but this humor is directed at yourself and being mean to yourself. And so I really want you to be aware of the fact that you might be using humor to make others laugh. That's not a real emotional connection. That's not a way to get at a real emotional connection. And other people are just like thinking you're being good humored and fun, and they're not understanding the real pain behind those phrases and things. They're not mind readers. So you're going to have to straight up tell them what pain or resentment or feelings you're feeling at this time. It's time to be a little bit more serious about your emotions this month. Those are the actions you should be taking. All right, lessons you're learning, scold reversed. The lesson that you're learning this month, Capricorn, is that emotions and vulnerability and expressing your compassion for yourself and for others is actually a strength, not a weakness. Being able to get in touch with and accept your most vulnerable parts of yourself provides you with strength. It allows you to kind of work with the natural flow of yourself and the universe, and it will make you be able to manifest much more quickly and with ease. If you're constantly thinking about like, oh yeah, in the future this will happen, in the future I'll get this, in a couple of years I'll get this, or this will happen to me in 5 years, or I know once I get enough money I can make this happen, then you're basically telling the universe that I don't want it to happen right now, it's not happening right now, it can't happen right now, it's going to have to happen in the future. And you see there's a problem with that, because if you keep telling yourself it's going to happen in the future, it's going to happen in the future, it's going to happen in the future, then it always stays in the future. It never can be in the present. And so you really want to make sure that you are being vulnerable and allowing yourself to kind of be like, I really want this to happen now, and that's okay. It's okay to want things to happen right now and to not have to think that you have to work so hard for them. Sometimes you can just want things to happen and then they do. Sometimes it doesn't take all this extra work that you've really been focusing on. You don't have to work yourself to death to get success. You can just say that you're a successful person and really truly feel it in your heart, and then you're going to live your life in a way of a successful person. If that makes any sense. So if you walk around saying, oh yeah, one of these days I'm going to get my act together and start dieting, or one of these days I'm going to get my act together and really start focusing on writing my next novel, then it's always going to be one of those days. But if you say to yourself, I can write my own novel right now, or I have all these great stories and I really want to just start getting something down on paper, then it's going to be today. Today is going to be the day that you're going to start doing those things. So I really want you to take a look and examine the way that you're viewing all of the things that you want in life. Are you viewing them happening 5-10 years from now? Or are you viewing yourself already being that person who's willing and ready to get those things, who deserves those things in this present moment? Get yourself there, be vulnerable with yourself, and allow yourself to really examine, am I using humor? Am I using sarcasm to mask what I really want out of life? Because I'm afraid if I go for it, I'm going to fail or I'm not going to get it. Take a look at that. Why are you doing that? Is there any way that you can step up and stop doing that and start realizing how much you actually deserve, Capricorn? Because you deserve a lot. You've worked very hard over the past couple of months and in your life in general. For love and romance, the Two of Cups reversed. For my single Capricorns out there, it might mean that you are currently dating someone or starting a relationship with someone who is kind of constantly obsessed with you and can't get enough of you, and then the next second it's like shut off, they don't communicate with you, they don't talk with you. They're very confusing. They're giving you extremely mixed signals here. And so for you, it might just be, I know that would be very frustrating for a Capricorn, so this just might not be the type of person that you are ready to pursue. You may need to tell them, hey, I'm not sure if you like me or don't like me, but once you figure it out, go ahead and contact me either way. And that's obviously much easier said than done, right? Because I feel like they've been leading you on when they are like hot and heavy for you, and they're like, oh, I like you so much, you're so wonderful, you're so great, and then it's like 3 days of silence. And so that's really confusing, because you're like, oh, maybe I can be patient and wait it out until they're ready to hang out again, or maybe they're just a really introverted person, or, you're going through all of these scenarios, but in reality, you don't deserve to be treated that way. So just make sure that you kind of take a step back from that situation and decide if that's something that you want to be involved in at all. For my Capricorns who are in a relationship, this is really not the best omen. You are in a very rough spot with your partner right now. There could be some arguments. There could be talk of breaking up or separating at this time. You could be finding yourself drawn to other lives or other people or other things more than your partner at this time. Whatever the issue is, you definitely want to rebalance and spend a lot of time focusing on the relationship. Really go through those arguments, really sit and have it out with your partner. That's very important for you to do this month. It's important for you to turn your sympathy and empathy towards your partner. So not only sharing your piece of it or what's bothering you or really bringing up the negative things happening with you, but also listening to them and their perspective if you want the relationship to work. If you've tried all of these things before and you're still having arguments, then it may be time for you to separate for a bit. Or it could be time for you to go ahead and proceed with the divorce that you've been working on, unfortunately. But definitely there needs to be some kind of a natural balancing out with your home life and your work life and your emotional life and your spiritual life. I feel like you're giving everything you got to the other three, and you've kind of been neglecting your relationship for a while, and that might be the exact reason why you're getting so many arguments and not really being able to communicate and be in sync like you normally are. For career and finance, we have the Star. We've got some really good stuff coming your way in career and finance this month, Capricorn. If you've been waiting to hear back from a job interview or you're hoping for a promotion, I feel like it's going to go really, really well for you this month. Actually, I know it's going to go really well for you this month. Or I do sense for some of you, you may have done a job interview and you might get it, but then get an even better offer come your way. So really, really great things coming in the realm of career. Financially speaking here, if you've been struggling with money, you are going to be finding a system that really works for you financially so that you can save and invest and do all the things that you've been hoping to do in your financial life. This is the month where things all sort of click and you kind of get it going. And I think this is playing an important role with the career aspect. Like for some of you, you're getting a promotion in some kind of a way. You're getting more money from some sort of aspect here. Take a more creative approach to stuff in work. Take a more creative approach with your finances than you have been. Really look at some alternative ways of doing things and trust your gut on it's not going to lead you astray. There's been something you've been stuck on and you've been missing, and it has a creative solution that you just haven't thought of yet, but it is coming your way at some point in September of 2020. Sorry, that's really, really vague, but that's what I've been told, unfortunately, and that's all the information I've been given about it. All right, let's roll the astro dice here to see if we can get any additional information. We've got the Scorpio symbol, the 8th house, which is Scorpio, and Saturn, which is ruled by Capricorn. So this could be saying that you have Scorpio and Capricorn in your sun, moon, or rising sign. This is really focusing here on being very disciplined and having responsibility in the realm of intimacy, in the realm of merging sexuality, your sexual side. It's really telling you to take responsibility and ownership of these things, and that there's some power there for you with going with the flow. Scorpio is a lot about sex and intimacy, but also the sacral chakra actually is in the domain over your reproductive organs. It's where we produce life. It's where we produce creations. It's this sensual, creative, very intimate, personal side of ourselves. And so, believe it or not, you are going to really have to focus a lot this month on that sexual, romantic side of yourself, and really taking a deep look at if you are blocking this side of yourself for any particular reason. Now, you've got a lot going on here with your own mental blocks, but I feel like the mental blocks are also blocking up your creative side. It's also creating a creativity block as well. And so dive into your emotions like a Scorpio would, feel them quite intensely, and then try to let them pass through you. So realize that emotions are not stagnant, they come and go, and we should look at them as such. They're not going to be around forever, and they don't need to be around forever. We can feel them, fully feel them, express them, and then let them go out and realize that this is just something that happens to us as humans. We feel emotions, we have negative thoughts. We can feel them deeply and then release them kind of through a healing practice. So definitely do some kind of shadow work is what I'm getting for you, Capricorn. You're going to want to look at your shadow side, maybe do some shadow work meditation here. These are all the messages I'm getting for you. If this video resonates with you, go ahead and give it a like or comment down below. Subscribe to my channel for pick a card videos, as well as more monthly horoscope videos, and I will see you next time. Bye!